Welcome.
Hi, Fabian.
So the one and only Stefania Lo-Gatto in my studio over here, not too far because
Amazing studio, beautiful.
you came the long way. How long? Like 23 minutes?
Yes, 20 minutes drive.
No, I'm very happy to have you because we know each other for 7 years, almost
Yes.
now. We have never done a podcast or an interview or anything. We've spent the craziest vacations together, like you with your husband and me and Nika,
Yeah.
traveling the world. But finally we sat down.
Building our dreams together.
Of course.
We both started from scratch. I remember you, you remember me. So we have a history together, yes.
I remember when you explained me the compensation plan of your old company the first time, and I ran out and wanted to explain to everybody. Everybody said, "No, that's not true."
Can you believe it? I still didn't know how to explain a compensation plan. Still today, I'm very simple the way I explain it. It's the part I let the man do. No, I'm joking. I can do it, but I don't like it the most.
Yeah, but it turned out very well for you, I would say. So 7 years ago, you were in the business for a year or so when I started, and it's crazy what happened in that short period of time, right?
We both didn't expect it.
Never
Never
in my life.
Me neither. I think we both knew we wanted to change our lives with network marketing, but we didn't believe that it could become so big. At least I thought big, but not that big. Network marketing totally surprised me how limitless is this profession. I love it.
For those who don't know about you yet, even though let me do it like short introduction.
Yes, okay.
So basically, you are not only a person who has built tremendous success all around the world. You were also, I think, like 5 times at the Most Powerful Women and Go Pro events.
Yes, I think in total, maybe 5-6 times. I was sometimes in panels, sometimes as a speaker.
You have around 250,000 followers on Instagram right now.
Yeah, I think so. I have to check. No, more. 280.
And all organically, we have to say, like.
Yes, in the beginning, I have to say I had somebody who did follow and unfollow, and then he was unfollowing all my people. I mean, that doesn't work anymore. And then I was like, okay, let's just build it organically and normal. I think part of it is because of our team, but also it's because I love fashion and I have lots of women that follow me because of the clothes and shoes.
Then you are the only woman in your company. So we try to avoid company names in this podcast. So you're the only woman in your company holding the rank of a double diamond in all over Europe and Middle East.
Yes.
Which is your main region. Your number one country every single year, every single month, besides 2 months.
In August. It's Italy. I'm Italian. And I have to say most of the volume is coming from my team. Yes, we are keeping it up. Many people said, it's going to be only one time, but we keep on doing well. Yeah, I think Italians are perfect for network marketing.
And before we get into your story, one last thing, because people always wonder, okay, so Fabi is interviewing 6- and 7-figure earners.
Okay.
So, and there are plenty. I mean, we just had that call with Eric Worre where there were like 650 6- and 7-figure earners.
I love that.
And these are just the people who are connected to him, and they're way more. Just completely openly, like what was your best check, like with your husband and like everything?
Around $680,000 1 month, but obviously there was, every 3 months we get like a diamond pool, so it's not that like that every month, but it's more or less every month $500,000. Yes.
It's a bit crazy, isn't it?
Yes, it's crazy.
Specifically when you look back to your story, and let's dive into it. Tell a little bit about how you ended up doing network marketing. Like where did you grow up? Who's Stefania?
So I am 100% Italian. When I was 14 years old, I went to boarding school in Switzerland. And I think there I learned to think globally, to think internationally. It was a school with a lot of children from all over the world. Never went back to live in Italy. I moved to London and to LA, to New York. And I met my high school sweetheart in Switzerland. And we decided to get married, and we had 3 kids. So for 12 years, I was just a mom of 3 boys. But then when love was over, when I went through a very tough divorce, I found myself with no money. No money for me, no money for the boys. It's a long story. And I was looking for jobs and opportunities. So I did work part-time as a receptionist in a center where I used to do beauty treatments before, and then I became a worker there. But obviously the money was not enough. Also because I was living in Portugal. And Portugal, has so many people from Brazil trying to look for money that spoke much better Portuguese than me. So it was very tough. And for 3 months, I was invited to a network marketing event. And I said, no way I'm doing one of these things. Like, I truly believed that network marketing was a plan B for losers. I mean, I really mean it. I believed only the Americans make money, only the people on the top, that no one makes money, and it's a big scheme.
Let me interrupt you quickly, because so you grew basically up. Can we say you grew up wealthy and a good environment?
Yeah, I would say for the norm. My school was the second most expensive school in the world. So it was quite an expensive. Lots of rich kids in my school. Yes.
But then when you just said the laugh was over, actually the first time in your life you were without anything, right?
And people says, but what about your ex-husband? He was working from Formula 1. Didn't he have to give you money? Well, we were going through a situation in Portugal where he didn't have to. And my parents also, they are well off. But they were so upset at me because they didn't know the whole picture that for a while they didn't want to help me. I mean, they still gave me the 1-bedroom apartment that had a beautiful sea view in Portugal, but it was 1 bedroom with 3 boys. So from, having a really good lifestyle to turn myself, like what I was making in a month, I used to spend it in a pair of shoes before. It wasn't easy. It was tough, but I cannot say that I was starving or that I was in the middle of the streets. I still had a cousin that helped me back from England. He used to send me some money. My mom used to send me money. Yes, Dad, my mom used to help me behind your back. And then when I started to do network marketing, the funny part was that they didn't want me to do it as well. So the family for a while was a little bit angry at me.
And I know, the cool thing is I know your story, obviously, as we're close friends.
Yes.
So I will dig a little bit into the interesting part,
do
if that's fine.
whatever you want. No secrets with me.
So yeah, that's true. Like, you always speak your mind.
Yes,
sometimes,
Fabi knows.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Yes, it's true.
So you started network marketing. You thought it's a plan B for losers, but at the end, why did you start? Because you had no other chance, or you've seen the opportunity? Yeah,
I look in the mirror and I thought, what can you really do? I did study. I'm a graduate student. I study in LA, but and I speak 4 languages, but all of them not perfectly. But honestly, I looked in the mirror and said, what can you really do? What job could you really do? I had no skills, and so out of desperation, I go to an event, and I really go because I'm interested in the products. But then that night, someone really explained me what network marketing was all about. And it completely struck me. You say in English? It shocked me.
It hit me?
Yeah, it hit me that night.
2 strangers talk in English.
Yeah, exactly. But because I was like, oh my God, I've been doing network marketing all my life, but I never got paid for it because I love to share. Even today, I love to share whatever I love. So shoes, lipstick, hairdresser, but I never got paid. And so I really, I lift up my arms in the middle of the event and I said, but don't I have to go door to door and sell stuff? Don't I have to invest in a stock of products? And they're like, no. All you need to do is to try these products for yourself. And then if you like them, share them. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. So, with all over the world. But the truth was that night I went home and I couldn't sleep how excited I was. And I remember looking at the ceiling thinking about like a constellation, seeing that person, I will tell that person and I will tell that person. And next day I started to call my friends and everybody said no to me. Everybody called me crazy.
Classic.
They said, poor you, now that you lost everything, you lost your mind, you're nuts, you don't do these things. So after 3 days, I was already very negative again. And I thought, okay, this business is not for me. But as you said, because I had no way out, I didn't have better option. Thank God, I kept on going. And, also, I love Jesus. I love the Lord. And for me, every time I prayed, I felt like a confirmation that I had to go on and fight, even though everyone around me said, you're crazy, don't do it. My family, my brother and father, they told me practically, if you speak to anyone that we know, we will tell them. And they did. Don't do this thing. And if you keep on going, we will not let you enter in our homes. That's how bad it got. But I'm stubborn, thank God. And I'm also competitive. So when I started to see people in my region having results, I'm like, oh, I can do it too. And I began to work. But my first year and a half, I was not successful at all.
You even restarted, right?
Yeah. I had to restart from
before
zero.
we go in there, one quick question. would you say, is it true that you cannot say the right thing to the wrong person and the wrong thing to the right person? Because you you were pretty biased for network marketing in the beginning, but was it because nobody ever explained it to you the correct way, or was it the right person explaining it to you that night?
It was because when I was 12 years old, our maid came home one day and said, "Madame, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to get a Mercedes-Benz." And blah, 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 blah. And my mom bought her all these supplements and all these shakes. And we had them on the top of our tables for years. But probably a month. Nobody used them. I was too young to use them. My mom is not somebody that really uses those things. And today she's still our maid. So for me, it was, these mean people lying to the poor and the needy people. And then, I also had this preconceived idea of networkers wanting to show what they weren't. So renting the car, right? And I know that some did it. I believe I was a fruit of badly trained leaders that did not duplicate the right thing. And so I was surrounded by stories of people that didn't succeed. That's
and
really,
it's still around today, to be honest. I mean, we can name it. There's so many people in the industry, like they take "fake it till you make it" too serious.
Yes,
and
I hate that quote actually.
Yeah, because it's completely
misused. I think if you, in your mind, if you feel already that, like, I remember one time I did an event and literally, because it was a football night, and in Portugal, whenever there is football, the men stay at home to watch football, soccer, in case you're American, but soccer, and the women have to stay at home to take care of the man, still very masculine, macho mentality over there. And I remember that nobody came to the event. No one was there. And I was just me and my partner. And we said, okay, let's just do it like if the room was full, and let's make a full presentation. We already paid for the room. So that's for me a good way to say fake it until you make it, in the sense that I was imagining one day to have full rooms, and which is so crazy. If I now look back at that moment and then think at Egypt, you were there as well, and we had a team event with 25,000 people. I mean, when I was imagining a big room, I was imagining 500, not 25,000. But still, like I said, network marketing surprises you so much. But that's for me a good way. But to rent a car and to, buy fake clothes or fake watches to be somebody you are not, why? Do you think people around you don't see it? So I was always authentic, and even on social media, guys, be authentic. That's the best thing you can do.
And it's mostly short term. You know? We just had, again, in Germany, we had a huge article coming out, a YouTube video. We had the biggest German TV show talking bad about network marketing.
Again.
Why? Yeah, because it was one group doing some, I don't want to get into it, but saying like they're selling something what has no product attached to it. There's no value chain, but only posting, hey, you become rich. Everybody else is an idiot who doesn't do network marketing, have those huge cars. But everybody knows after 2 to 3 years they're gone, but they give that bad reputation still to our industry.
Totally.
And it's not. I mean, how many lives have you changed?
Yeah, or you. I have to say, guys, I know Fabi, like I said, for 7 years, and he makes really good money, but he doesn't show it. You're like the most humble guy. You're always around in your surfing and what is it? Kite look, and that's what they live. I mean, they have a beautiful home, but still, you guys are proof of being humble. You actually show less than what you have.
I think it's more important to collect memories than collect things.
Yes.
Because
totally
things you cannot take with you anyways.
I totally agree.
Memories stay always. And everybody has ups and downs in life. I mean, we've all been through it.
Yes.
Sometimes people ask me, do you have to be broke to become successful in network marketing?
Because so many of the successful people in network marketing reach the point to be completely broke. But I have stories of people that were already successful, but they found in network marketing an extra income stream. And then when they saw that it was more fun, they saw they had more free time, they kind of gave up on their plan A to do plan B full time. But they didn't start out of desperation like us. I mean, you were desperate, Fabi.
Oh, yeah, I was very desperate, yeah.
I still remember the Hello Kitty story. At first, one of the third time I saw Fabi around, he was driving around a Hello Kitty car with Hello Kitty stickers.
Yeah, it was actually a huge patch from all the left from the steering wheel to the right, and then it was engraved on the back Hello Kitty. When I turned it on, it was like shining blue, the whole car. It was fun. It was the last $600 I had actually when I came back from Spain. But it's not my story today. No. Today it's your story.
Okay, yes.
So let's. So I try to lead a little bit in the direction, like going through the story, because today I want to talk a little bit about the things that people don't know about your story when they have heard you already.
Okay.
And one thing I was
help
literally.
me. It's not prepared. I have no idea what he's gonna say.
Okay, I was laughing out loud because you just said, okay, I worked in that spa.
Yeah.
Where I before was a client. So
Yeah.
before you went there just to do whatever, like a treatment,
All
your
the
nails,
time.
like
My husband liked a lot other girls, so I had to go to look good. I thought, oh, it's my cellulite. That's why he's unfaithful. So I went there all the time, nearly 4 times a week to do treatments, whatever, laser, peelings, massages, anything I could to keep in shape. Yes.
And the owners became good friends of you?
Yeah, the owners became super good friends of mine, and those were the people who then gave me a job when I was left with nothing. But, I was working part-time because I had to also be a mom in the afternoon when the kids came back from school. So they gave me the money they could and the money that was right for me to earn as a receptionist, but it was not enough for sure.
When I talked to them, Felipe and Luciana,
yes.
So shout out to the two.
I love you guys!
And when I talked to them, Felipe, he was telling 2 stories which really got stuck in my mind.
Go on.
I told you, this is like all out here. So the one story is the famous popcorn story.
Oh my God.
Would you like to tell it?
Yeah. So, I stayed there during lunchtime as well. And I love popcorns. And there were these popcorns with no butter. And I decided to make them in the microwave, not thinking that the whole spa was going to smell.
Like the spa with essential oils and massage and therapy.
I was smelling of popcorn for like 2 days.
And there was the other story. Okay, that's hard to explain because
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so this was the one when you were actually brand new in the spa and you were working there, and somebody came and asked like, "Who are you?"
Okay.
And you messed up the Portuguese word.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, but it's only really fun if you speak Portuguese. But so it's like this. Felipe was testing some treatments at the spa, and in Portuguese, when you are like a test, like a piggy win. I don't know the name, but like you're a test.
Winnie pig?
Yeah, Winnie pig, something like that.
Yeah.
Guinea
pig.
Exactly.
Guinea pig, it's a word, yeah.
German and Italian doing the interview. But that's the fun part. So, and, you say one word, kobaya. But it's, because I read the Bible, and in the Bible there are a lot of concubines. So you have to understand the picture now. Luciana is pregnant, making the nails of a lady. And I walk in the spa and I'm like, oh my God, I'm back today because I'm going to be the concubine so the mistress of Felipe today. And I start to undress and I go in this thing and I close it. All the ladies are looking, thinking, oh, this is a very open marriage. Yeah, that was me. That was actually when I still had money when that happened because I was just a client. But already there we were friends. But it's very important to point out one thing today, that this couple were one of my first big no's. Because when I started to do network marketing, I was working for them and I went to them and I told them about the products. I told them about the vision. They're like, never, no, we're not interested. And actually Luciana said, what else could you do? You're not going to be a receptionist forever. So why don't you try? And today, instead, they are in full-time. They sold the spa, and they are actually this month running for a big rank. And they have changed their lives in so many ways. So, yeah, how life changes. But they only said yes to me 3 years later. They first waited like St. Thomas, They waited to see if I was going to make it. And but I did. And so now they joined me.
It's super interesting how things change. And there's another story because there was one person very dear to your heart, your dad.
Yes.
Who did everything he could do to
stop me.
To stop you doing.
He even offered me money to stop. He said, I'll pay you. Yeah, because you see, he sent me to study in the best boarding school. I studied abroad, and because of this reputation that network marketing has, if I go now to someone, introduce myself, hi, I'm a lawyer, hi, I'm an accountant, people feel proud. But in Italy, just now things are changing. But in Italy, networkers were not looked as something you want to be proud of. So for my dad to say, oh, my daughter is a network marketing professional would have been funny. So he's like, you already lost your marriage, your kids are young, don't waste your time. So yeah, what he did, I went up to one lady specifically that again today she's successful in my business, Anto Regine. But what happened is that he went up to, after I explained her everything and she was kind of convinced, he went behind my back. I only found out this years later and told her, don't do it. My daughter lost her head, with the marriage. She's lost. Please, I don't want you to get involved in those things. And now she complains to him and says, I wish I would have started earlier because she's a director in my team.
But these are all stories everybody can relate to it, you
Yes.
know, and that's why I wanted to go into it because people see like the success. My favorite picture is that ballet shoe when you have the foot. I don't know if you've ever seen. So you have the foot of the ballet dancer without a shoe and with a shoe.
Yeah.
And the shoe is what everybody says. Like it's the elegance, it's a success, it's the beauty, but they don't see the work you have to put in. All the
people see the glory, but they don't know the story. They don't know the struggles. Another thing that people don't know about me was that I had 3 small kids, and that now it's so cool. We can work online and you can make Zooms and you're reaching the world. But at the time we had Skype, we hardly use it, but we did a lot of offline events. We worked a lot with events and meetings, meeting in restaurants, in bars. And, sometimes I had to leave my kids behind or take them with me at the events, make them fall asleep. I have crazy stories. One time I went up north in Portugal. Someone told me, these people, they tell you, 30 people, I'm going to enroll 10 people. And then you get there and there was nobody. There was the husband and the wife and the cousin and nobody else. And I remember it was a weekend. I took the kids with me. And then we came back, and because I didn't have enough money to put petrol, the car stopped in the middle of the highway. It was rainy. The kids were hungry. It was late, and they were crying. I started to cry. When the kids saw me crying, they stopped crying because I tried for them not to see me cry. But it was very hard. I mean, really, Felipe, again, my friends from the spa, they had to come out with petrol and put it in my car so for me to take the kids home, and next day they had school. So, there were moments where I wanted to quit. There were moments where I felt like a bad mom. They were not eating hot meals at night. Sometimes I gave them cereals or Nutella bread. The kids were happy, but I felt guilty as a mom not to cook a proper meal or not be able to buy them the food I wanted them to have, because sometimes I spent the food money to go to that event or to buy that course to get, to learn about network marketing, to buy that book. And so there was a lot of struggle in the beginning, and I'm not going to lie, twice I was ready to quit. I just didn't quit and didn't start something else because I had no other big options. But and I was always passionate about the products, so I was still going to do something just to keep the products free. I was making enough to get my own consumption free with the commissions. But still, it was very hard because the youngest was 4, and I know many moms can relate. But what I can tell you is that when I understood that when I was more vulnerable, I was going to be with people, and more real I was going to be, more people were going to love me and follow me. And I have to tell you this story. It's a true story. So I started to do every Monday a webinar. It was not Zoom at the time. We had GoWeb or something. It was another app. And I was the one doing everything. Products, compensation plan, because nobody else could do it. I was me at the beginning. And, many times there were like 2-3 people. Once there was again nobody, and I'm like calling them up as at least show up. I didn't know that there was an option that I could take away the way to see the people, but I'm terrible with technology. I'm like the worst. So you could really see we were 5, 8, how inspiring. So, but one night, I think we were like 12 people. And I used to put my kids in the bath with very low water so that they wouldn't die in case, they fall. But to play in the bath with toys, because I had 1-bedroom apartment, so they could go in the bathroom, play with the toys and water, and I would do the webinar because otherwise they would interrupt me all the time. So one night I'm doing the webinar talking. I think it was the compensation plan, so the hardest part for me. And all of a sudden from the back I see coming wet and naked Luca like all towards the camera. I'm like panicking. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm going to turn off the computer. What am I going to do? So like I'm so shocked and paralyzed because not the whole world, but all these people, professionals. And I turn around like, look, what is it, baby? And it's like, I have to caca. And I'm like, okay. So like 1 second. And so I run and I go back and I bring him. And you will not believe it. Next time I had double the people. And the story became something like a trend in my team and more moms got inspired. And today I do Zooms with thousands of women breastfeeding. Not that you see that, but you know that they are because of the cover and you see the baby's head. And it's so incredible to be able to build a community like that of women that can work from home and actually can be an example to their kids. So.
What was the worst thing ever happened on Zoom to you?
Or my goodness, can I go into details?
You can do whatever you want.
So one time I'm talking and I see this guy taking a shower. Now, you could only see the upper body. So he's taking a shower. And I'm thinking, and I could tell he did not know that there was a camera. So all of a sudden, like I'm talking, I'm like, yeah, and by the way, there's someone taking a shower, just, be careful. What does he do? Because he's not thinking there is a camera. He probably thought because of the noise. He starts walking completely naked, clothes shocked with the intimate part right on my Zoom. I'm like, ah! And me, I wasn't the administrator, but I was on the phone and I didn't know how to turn it off. So big mess. Anyway, again, we had more people checking next time. He was a hot guy, so some women were happy.
That's crazy times. I mean,
you had as well.
Oh yeah.
We had one lady go into a bathroom.
I had a guy lying in the bathtub actually, just putting soap in his hair, and it's crazy. But I was just thinking, the thing is when you have so many people on Zooms and everybody is seen, if you don't do a webinar, there's always something crazy going on.
Yes.
And what I always do now, as obviously I have not so many ladies as you have, so I always say, hey, you can turn your camera off in case you're breastfeeding, in case you're doing something intimate or whatever it is, but otherwise please turn the camera on. So at least they know then that they're seen, like a little bit up front.
It's a new world. It's a new generation.
Times have changed, specifically since COVID.
Yes, totally. I mean, we made this huge run. You were a big part of it. It's crazy what COVID has done to our profession. So many people that always used to tell me, no, don't. I will never do it. I have no time. It's not for me. They called me up saying, hey, I only have money going out, no money coming in. Tell me about you. What are you doing? And and our business, we did plus 400%. Yeah. It's crazy.
4 times the volume in 3 months.
In 3 months. Wow.
So, but monthly, 4 times the monthly volume.
Yeah.
Then,
Fabi knows
crazy.
better than me the numbers. Guys, I hate numbers. Everybody knows.
So, I mean, before we go a little bit more into the today, so because I promised that we'll talk a little bit about more about your story, what people mostly don't hear. Yeah. So before you were in your current company, you started with a different company.
Yes.
So, but you didn't start alone. So
no, I started with so I was so skeptical about network marketing that this girl, and I have to thank her, if she will ever hear this message, I have to thank her because she really convinced me to join her on her spot. Because I said to her, look, I will never do that. Like, I'm ashamed. I had my dad's mentality, which is funny. I used to complain about my dad, but I exactly thought like him, plan before losers. But I told her, you know what? I like the products. I'm going to share them, but I will not say I sell them. I will send them to you. But of course, I had a co-interest with her. And then after a while, as I started to do it, I fell in love with the profession. And then I started to be really her partner. In fact, there is still a video of us on stage being recognized and talking. My first time on stage, oh my goodness, I was so scared. People think that, they see you and I rocking our stages. But I'm sure the first time you were also scared.
Oh, I looked like Angela Merkel. I had my... my fingers in front of my chest. So for those who want to know how I look, just Google Angela Merkel when she does a speech.
Yeah, I was so scared, and I thought no words would come out of me for the first 2 minutes. But then, everything, as you do it, you learn and you get better. And today, when I go on stage, maybe I have I'm not scared. I'm a little bit nervous, the minute while they put the microphone. But at the same time, I'm so excited. I want to go up there and give my thoughts and help the people. And also, I'm so excited to get energy from the public. That's why all these online expos are so much harder to talk only to screens because you don't have that energy back.
Wasn't that a weird
people.
feeling now here in Dubai? I mean, we just had
so
a big
weird.
one.
So weird.
And so for those who have never done that, it's not even like a TV studio. We basically had a full stage setup. We had an LED screen behind, but then the camera is like 20 meters away.
Yes.
And the whole room was empty because of COVID.
Yes.
And you're literally speaking into an empty room.
Yes.
So there's no reaction. You don't hear anything. You don't have a feedback.
It's terrible. You don't know what's happening. And for me, for the way I am, I really had to pretend. In that case, fake it.
Yeah.
I was faking. I had a lot of people in front of me. Yeah.
So you started together.
Yes.
And you did it for 1.5 years, is that correct?
Yes.
And then something happened.
Then she asked me to leave, to quit, because she wanted to do full-time with her husband. And
so the husband has seen money's coming in, and then he wanted to be
all
involved
of a
suddenly,
sudden,
okay.
Because we were hitting the $8,000 a month, and for them, I mean for anyone, was a lot of money, and I'm not gonna go now into all the details. It was a painful moment for me, but looking back was one of the biggest blessings, because then I re-enrolled, started from zero. With the now today husband. We have different accounts. Actually, your sponsor, Daniel Feier. And even though at the time we were not married, still if I look at now what a financial blessing that is. My husband is making 30% on my check. That's not bad. And I make full check. I would have to share with her forever. But it was very hard because I had to leave everyone I knew, and emotionally I had to wait for 6 months. So emotionally it was very hard. But I believed so much in this profession and in the products that I really decided to do it again.
So basically you started 3 times.
Yeah.
So you started the first time you started together.
Yeah.
Then everybody you had enrolled until then, actually you can count them as a negative.
Yeah.
So you started with minus how many people?
I could take, by the agreement, I could take with me 4 Italians, because she couldn't speak Italian, and they allowed me to, and Italy was closed, so they were not, but believe it or not, today they're all big shots in my team. But obviously, again, because I was there to help them, so it's not that they would have done something without me. So, but yeah, I had to start again, and then what happened? I was doing very well in Monavi, as you know.
So far we don't mention company names.
Oh, sorry.
But it's all good.
It's bankrupt. It's
it doesn't
done.
exist anymore.
It doesn't exist, so I can say it. It's an old company. But I was doing well, and all of a sudden, I get this phone call. Oh, you need to come to Munich, Germany, because there is this other company buying us. And I'm like, what? What do they want? I was so angry. I was like, I love where I am now. Well, me to be
just after you've rebuilt it.
Yes.
We have to mention that as well.
Yeah, and I was like hitting $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a month. And I think I was number 1 woman in Europe in that company as well in that moment. And I felt like a queen. Look, I was coming from zero. All of a sudden, I'm making $20,000, $30,000 a month. I was super happy. And when you are number 1 of that world, you don't think about that there are people making more money. I felt like I'm number 1 of that company, and I'm doing great in that region. And when they called and said that they were going to buy us and we had no way out, I said, they are buying the company, but they're not buying me and my team. And I'm like, I really, I'm a fighter, and I get very upset. I'm very Italian, tragic and emotional. So I have to say, Fabi knows. Fabi has witnessed some of my craziness moments. And that was one of those. And I have to say, again, Daniel, the German, calmed me down, gave me some numbers, assured me, told me wait and see. And I'm like, I'm sure I'm not even going to like the products. I was because I love products and I love to build on the products. So for me, it was very important to love the products. So I rebuilt it again, not from zero, because I have to say my team mostly followed me. I lost a few people in the move, but most of the people followed me. But I want to say I didn't change company. They changed, forced me to change because I was happy. But you know what was so good about that change? On top of having a much bigger company, opening more countries and all that. But it was because all of a sudden I was not the number 1. I was one that had to sit in the back because there were people making much more volume than me and much more successful than me. And it's like if in the other company, I reached the top of the mountain and I was happy and I was trying to drag with me more people on the top of the mountain. But when I arrived in the other company, I saw like if the clouds moved and I saw a much higher mountains to climb. And so together we climbed, and I mean, the rest is history. It's been insane. And again, I became number one. So again, it's not...
You're competitive.
Yeah, I'm competitive. Very competitive. In fact, something that really helped me was when I reached Daniel Feier's rank as, at the time I think we were already married.
I have to say, though, that you reached a rank before him even.
Exactly.
So you became an Emerald director when he was still a Ruby director, which is one rank below.
Yes. But then people started to say, oh, it's because of Daniel. She's sleeping her way up. And I was like, oh my goodness, I need to show them that it's me, and I need to. So I really started to work even harder, and then I reached Diamond, and Daniel stayed 1 year Ruby. I loved it. But I have to say, I think it's important to show also how your why evolves. Mm-hmm. Because I started for my children and because I was broke. But at that point of my life, it was not anymore about money. Obviously, I already paid off all my debts, even in the first company. But in that case, was all about recognition and starting to get rid of that stigma, Barbie girl, because I'm short, even though if Barbie would be a human being, she would be 1.80 m and I'm only 154. But there is always this idea like blondie, and I'm like, I need to show my dad, I need to show the world that it's not because of Daniel. I have to be grateful to him, to people like Eric Worre, to people like you, Fabi, to people around me. I'm not saying that I did it all on my own, but I wanted to be recognized for my own skills and not somebody else. So that pushed me. But then also that fades away quite quickly. And today is really about impacting, changing lives, having a purpose, giving. Just last night we were able to do a big offering again, and I just love it.
Oh, we can speak it. We gave $30,000 to a charity. My wife Veronica is running.
Yeah, but last night we actually gave out $100,000.
But in total,
yeah. Yes. And I look, I'm gonna just talk about this because everybody knows about the $100,000, but we give that nobody will ever know, because I always say, don't let your left hand know what your right hand says. But again, isn't it amazing that in network marketing you can become such a blessing because you are blessed? And so you can give money to places where you can really help practically, but also I know that by making this podcast, by making, my 5 Zooms tonight I have 5 or 6 Zooms, I'm going to finish at 1 a.m. But by making all of this, I am helping other people achieve their dreams and their freedom, not only financially, but also as a person, because network marketing is all about self-development as well. I started with few people that are wealthy already. So their why was never money. Their why was feeling worth it, feeling that they were needed, wanting to be part of a community, having a reason to leave their home and do their hair and makeup. And I have this crazy story. I don't talk about it very much. I don't want anybody to understand who it is because it's a secret. So I'm going to be very vague. But one night I'm driving from one event to home. Oh, I was already too specific. Well, it could be anywhere home. It could be anywhere. And I was driving back home with her, and I said, oh my goodness, I'm so grateful how much, this business has changed my life. And she says, oh, to me too. And then, I turn around and I'm like, yeah, okay, but come on, you were wealthy before. You're not making that much money. Like, I have a much bigger rank with her. And then she's all of a sudden stops the car and parks the car in the sideway of the highway and starts crying. I'm like, what happened? What's going on? What did I do? What did I say? And she starts telling me that the week before I called her to invite her to be part of my team, she actually tried to commit suicide. And not because things were running bad. It was, she great kids, great husband, just depression. She wasn't feeling worth it anymore. She wasn't feeling good anymore. And she said that network marketing changed completely her life. And I mean, if I look at her today, she's still in my team, rocking, and she's a whole different person. I cannot imagine that just a few years ago, she didn't do it because she didn't have the guts, but she tried and then she stopped. But still, isn't it amazing what network marketing can do? It's crazy.
What people mostly underestimate is what it gives us beside the money.
Yeah.
Like the community, the friendship,
traveling.
the travel, relationships. And honestly, so my story. When I started, I didn't know anyone when I came back from Spain to Germany, and I had to start from scratch. So basically, all my friends I met through the industry. Yeah. And the friendships I have nowadays, they're much stronger than any friendships I had before.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's amazing how many great people I know today, thanks to network marketing. And even though I do have a few friends from before, and I love to be with them, but we talk about the past. But if we start talking about the present, we have so different mindsets, and again, I don't want to judge them. It's just that network marketing shows you the way in such a different way that sometimes I'm afraid to speak out my mind with non-networker people because I sound crazy. I sound weird. And
it's even with business owners.
Yeah.
So I have a good friend. He's a very successful business owner, but he does everything by himself. And one picture what really showed me what kind of a great industry we're having. So he is in Vietnam with one of his producers. He produces sportwear, sport gear. And he sends that picture from some rooftop bar. And he says, "Oh, it's so nice here in Vietnam." And he's by himself. Like all by himself in Vietnam, meeting the producer sad. For 1 week.
You and
every
me
single
that love
night.
people.
Exactly.
I'm like, I can't stay alone, okay? I can't stay. I love to be with people. That's why I love network marketing so much. I'm like the last one. We are the last ones to leave the parties. We are the last ones to leave the holiday. We always book a day more. True. Because we love the community. I enjoy, people give me energy. Daniel is the opposite. People take away energy, but that's why he has us. Yeah. He has you to help him with Unity Global relationship. And
that's the next thing. So everybody has a place in our industry. Yes. So it doesn't matter if you're introvert, if you're extrovert, if you're more with data, facts, and numbers, or you like socializing. Yes. There's space for everybody, right?
I know, it's true. This is also very important because you and me are more, dolphins and whales. Like we like. I don't know if you know the animals. You taught me the animals, actually.
Yeah, I didn't talk on the podcast yet because it's the first episode.
Okay. but Fabi will teach you.
So just very, very briefly, it's basically about the insights model. Some people call it red, blue, green, yellow. It's about your personality, and we just call it the whale, the dolphin, the shark, and the owl. So.
Yeah, but it's important to say that I have many people very successful. There are introverts. They love to read. They love numbers, and they still are very successful. So it's not true that in network marketing you need to be extrovert and be able to talk to everybody like you and me to make it. That's
Daniel is the best example.
Yeah.
He's the most successful of all, and he is an introvert.
Yeah, total.
He just learned it. How to.
He learns, like people when they meet him in real life, because they only see him on stages, they go like, is he angry at me? I'm like, no, that's the real Daniel. He's not faking it on stage, but on stage he wants to deliver a message that he believes in, so his power comes out. But otherwise...
Yeah, and it's his passion.
Yes.
That's when you really feel the passion.
Everything, yeah. I'm like this all the time. Instead, at 2 a.m. you come to my house, I'm the same like now.
I can verify this. I can confirm that's 100% true. You were actually called a tornado, right? When you were
a child. Or Duracell, there was this advertising of this rabbit that never stopped, or tornado. It's because people said that every time I enter in a room, I just brought a mess, in a good and in a bad way sometimes, but tornado. Also, I'm very messy. Thank God I can afford now a maid that runs after me every second and picks up my stuff. I'm not a very tied up person, but I can afford for somebody to do that for me.
What was your most positive experience? Because everybody has breakthroughs in their career. Can you remember like one or two situations where you say, That was one of those?
Yeah, for sure. Going to GoPro Recruiting Mastery to Eric Worre to see, first to learn finally like proper skills, because I was more like a natural going with my own feelings and I needed to duplicate. So I needed to understand that, yeah, I'm that way, but somebody else is not. So I need to create a system for my team to be able to know what to do. And also for me, it was very good to see women. In fact, that time were women with 3 kids, all of them had 3 kids and they were making 7 figures a year. And I thought, well, they make 7 figures in the States. I can make 100,000 a year. And then 2 years later, I was on stage with them as one 7-figure earner. And I was like, wow. That's how life can change overnight. It's crazy. And so that was a big breakthrough and inspiring moment. And another breakthrough was going to one of our company's events. I think events for me, because I love the energy and I love the belief, was definitely different. But I think I had many little breakthroughs as well. I could talk about it forever. Confirmations that I was doing right. My first $10,000 check was like, wow, this works. But even then, my dad told me, oh, let's see for how long.
I know he's your biggest fan.
Now, yes. Now
I always
he's my
see your
driver.
parents in the...
he takes care of my handbags because it's like, you're crazy. You buy these expensive handbags and people want to steal it from you. So he takes care of my handbags and he drives me around so I can be on the phone and he can be with me. Not today. Yeah, things have changed. And I can invite them on holidays, beautiful holidays, to ski and the Maldives. So
you've been with the whole family to the Maldives, right?
How Maldives, many people? We were in, oh my God, like a lot. 5, 6, 7, 8.
By the way, you have a hair in your
thanks.
eyelash.
20.
I know you would be
very upset if he doesn't tell me.
If you
I made my hair and makeup for this today. Excuse me, check me out. No, I know most of the people will just hear us anyway. No, I did, I think we were like 20, my brother and Daniel's family. And then we also took them to the ski holiday, to this beautiful place. So yeah, again, like you said, memory.
Stangelwirt,
yes.
In Austria, right?
Yes, yes, beautiful place. Actually, one Christmas we spent it with the royal family from Monte Carlo. So it was very incredible. Again, network marketing. Craziness. Broke 8 years ago, not having money to go to the supermarket, and few years later, 6 years later, I was spending Christmas with royalty, or my kids go to school with the royal family of Dubai. It's crazy.
One thing what always opens my mind, specifically here in Dubai, when you go to the first class launch or only the business class launch at Emirates. So for those who never flew Emirates, I mean, that's the #1 airline in the world.
We don't get commission for that, but again, we are networkers. We're going to share with you. To me, is the best.
First time in my life, I like flying.
Me too.
I always hated flying.
Do you know what I just
Emirates
did? Do you want to know something crazy? I had to go to Orlando for the expo, right? So a 16-hour flight. But then I had to go to Italy. And but to fly from America to Italy, you had to fly another airline. I prefer to fly 16 hours Emirates, go back to Dubai, and even change clothes. But I could have made it work. Than to fly 8 hours. So I doubled my time for how much I love it. I can, I relax, I sleep, I watch my movies, and you have your own bedroom, and oh my goodness, I like it so much.
And even economy. I mean, if you compare economy from Emirates to any other airline.
Business in other airlines. Yeah.
So what always amazes me is when you're in the business launch, and there are like hundreds of people.
Yeah.
I mean, the business launch in Emirates is like a whole store, how we call it, a whole level of the airport.
Yeah.
So you can basically walk for 20, 30 minutes and you're still in it. And you look around and you say, man, there's so many successful people. How can everybody fly business?
Yeah.
And it kind of shows you.
And it's not cheap.
It's not cheap at all. Yeah. And then you go first class.
Oh my goodness, that costs like a car.
But still that thing is packed.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So
always, especially flights like LA, Dubai. It's full of superstars, actors. I flew with so many famous people as well.
It really opens your mind if you surround yourself, or if you're surrounded by successful people, if you enter a different environment. And I think that also is something what helps us a lot in network marketing, because naturally you just meet more successful people.
Yes.
And then you have access to that $1 million earner, and you're like, man, it's a normal person.
Yes. And I think also living in Dubai, as talking about Emirates, I always think about the city as well, Dubai. And, it just makes your vision go so much bigger because you're surrounded by these buildings, the highest towers and the most beautiful restaurants. And so your mind just thinks bigger. And I remember you coming to Dubai telling me, oh, I'm super happy where I am today. I don't remember how much money you were making. You were making a lot of money already, but like, I'm fine. And then after a few months, it was like, I think I need to get to the next level now.
True. Yeah. Dubai is expensive. It's tax-free, but it's not fee-free.
No.
It's definitely expensive. Specifically with all the travel you do as a networker. Yes. And Emirates is amazing, but it costs money.
Yes. And hotels. But now with this new COVID wave, I have to say, yes, I finished now one tour of 1 month. It was very long. But I'm going to travel only next year. We're going to go to Hawaii.
True.
Yeah.
So. And COVID, that was the last topic we wanted to talk about, as promised before. COVID has changed so much in our business. Like the first time ever, I feel like I have a home business. We always said we want a business from home, do network marketing, but we were never home.
Yes, so, day and night out. We are talking to people now. I mean, look at this beautiful studio you created here because you now work so much more from home. Before in Germany, you would have not done this. You were always going from city to city to city. He was even thinking to get like a truck and with a room and go. Do you remember?
Yeah, like a driving home.
Like a driving home because he was traveling around so much. Yeah, today I have to say I love it because I can be on the same day in 5 different continents. And I can talk English and be translated in 8 different languages. We can do huge events. We can have great speakers. And even though I still would love one day to be able to do the big expos again with 20,000 people, and I know that they will come. Right now, I'm really enjoying this being able. I feel I am more... not profitable, but I am more like my time has more worth now.
It's more efficient?
Efficient, thank you. I am much more efficient with working from home. Like I can show you my agenda. Like now, soon, I start at 7, I think, but I finish at 1 a.m. If I look at my agenda, every half an hour or every hour, I have calls. And one is Lebanon, one is America, one is Italy, one is Portugal, one is Italy again. And some are Facebook Lives, one is an interview again, one Lebanon is a Zoom. Like, isn't it crazy how you can do that? And look, I'm in Lebanon, I'm in America, and I'm in Italy twice. Awesome.
And do you still use a calendar? Like people can book you or?
Right now, not because I was in a tour, so I blocked it. And now I have to see because I know that in the moment I open it again, it's less.
No worries. We will not name it here.
Yeah, no, don't name my calendar. Because you know what happens when you get so successful in network marketing? You get people from other companies always wanting to be coached by you. I have people offering me like $10,000 1 hour. Like, look, I'm not a professional. Like, don't listen to my YouTube channel, listen to this podcast, but I'm not going to do that. I have so much work with my team right now that no calendar open for everybody.
And specifically, as you just said, there's like so much information out there where you can grab everything you need. Of course, having a coach is always different. Having a coach makes a lot of sense
because it's personalized. But I can hardly make it to coach all my directs that are working and are qualified to be coached by me. How can I coach other people? So
that's why also I put that course together. I don't know if I told you about like Fulltime Network Marketer. And there was the whole idea like for those people who don't have a coach, but instead of booking someone paying one-on-one, which is a fortune, just having one source to get all the information.
And you're so good because you explain it very well, but also in a simple way so that people can understand it. It's very nice. And
I just launched an ebook, actually, Handling Objections. How to handle any objections in network marketing.
Well done.
Like the 15 most common objections.
Awesome.
So everybody can get it, by the way. Just check out fulltimenetworkmarketer.com/free-ebook.
Awesome. Okay? I'll get it too.
And so just to wrap it up, one question before I give you the final word.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Especially Instagram.
Instagram, Stefania Lo-Gatto?
Yeah, with my name. And I hardly use Facebook. I know I should use it more, but I don't like it so much. That's it. Right now,
Or they just Google your name?
Yeah, they just Google my name.
There are great interviews out there. And,
yeah, on YouTube you can watch some of my trainings are also in English. I have a lot of Italian on YouTube, but also in English. But I have to say, right now I'm working I'm recruiting 3 to 5 people a week on Instagram, and because people are spending so much time there.
So if somebody wants to reach out, then Instagram is the best way.
Yes, for me, yes, and it's me answering, believe it or not. I'm multitasking.
Yeah, I always see you working with your fingers on the screen.
Yes.
24/7.
Yes.
So, to wrap it up, the final word, as always, belongs to the guest.
Yes. So I want to tell to the person that maybe is struggling right now in network marketing, look, what doesn't happen sometimes in 2 or 3 or 4 years can happen in 2 or 3 months. But what you need to understand is just showing up is not enough. You need to take action, you need to pay a price, and you need to work harder than anyone around you. People think it's simple. Yes, it's simple, but it's hard, especially to start. So I just want to say to the people, take the action, take that extra mile, work harder than anybody, and their results will come. Because network marketing works. It's simple. It works. It's the future. It's the business of 21st century and more. You just have to choose a good company, solid company. I prefer product-based, but again, I don't want to, say that everything else is not good, but something that you love, because I love the product. So you have to share what you love and go for it and change your life. It works. I'm living proof. You are living proof, Fabi. So it's amazing.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for telling your story. And now let's do something cool and go to the beach.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you had a lot of fun and you learned an amazing lesson from today's episode. If you also want to become a full-time network marketer, make sure you check out the description below, because I have posted the link to my full course over there. If you're interested in listening to more interviews with 6- and 7-figure earners in the network marketing industry, they're just one click away. I see you in the next video.